This video is about the rules of exponents and how they relate to the SAT. Among the rules of exponents, there's a few. The first rule we're going to talk about is when you have some constant a raised to a power and you're multiplying that same constant to another power. What do you do with these exponents? Well, when you're multiplying exponents or multiplying numbers that have the same bases and some exponents, you add the exponents together. Next type of problem you're going to do is when you're dividing. So as multiplication is to addition, division is to subtraction, if we want to do an analogy. So a sub x over a sub y would be equal to a to the x minus y. So when we're dividing exponents, we subtract. Next rule that we're going to go over is when you have exponents raised to exponents. So let's say we had a to the x raised to y. Well, when you're raising an exponent to another exponent, you multiply the exponents like this. Let's go ahead and do a simple proof to demonstrate how each of these work. So let's say for the first part you had x to the fifth times x to the fourth. So this is of the form something to some power times the same something to a different power. And we know that we add them based off the rule, but here I'm going to show you why. Well, what is x to the fifth? X to the fifth is x times x times x times x times x. And what is x to the fourth? Well, x to the fourth is x times x times x times x. Here we have x times itself 9 times, which is going to give us x to the ninth. Let's do an example for the second one. Let's say we had x to the seventh over x to the third. Well, we know from our rules that this is going to equal x to the 7 minus 3, or x to the fourth. But let's see why. X to the seventh is x times x times x times x times x times x, 6 x's times x, over x times x times x. Well, if we're dividing here, we can simply cancel out x's. So this would lead us to x to the fourth. Finally, let's say we had a to the x to the y, and show you how that works. So let's say we had x squared being raised to the fourth power. Well, what is this? Well, x squared is simply x times x. When raised to the fourth power, this is x times 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 x. I'm taking this and multiplying it by itself 4 times. So this gives us x to the eighth. These are the basic rules of exponents. We're going to talk about how they can be applied to certain SAT problems in the following videos.